Alright, we got this JS2 back out here. Looking at this version 7. And now, I'm not saying what I'm going to show here don't apply to earlier versions either, okay? I've got the ID on this machine in the big mode, okay? For this little test here is a dime about 3.5 inches deep. And I've got a nail right there at that stick. That dime is about 6.5 or 7 inches over here, but now it's above that dime's plane because it is buried right there, okay? And we're going to just use the park mode for this demonstration. But it does work with other modes on this detector, other programs, what you're about to see. Okay, so I'm at 9 discs, okay? And I'm in full tones. We're going to sweep this thing. Now, the nail, like I said, is over there by that stick, okay? So there is some level of masking going on here, okay? Even though that nail's that far away. You'd dig that, wouldn't you? Okay, 96 in the meter. Now, that's full tones. So I'm going to go here to 5 tones. Uh-oh. See that? That don't look good, does it? A person might hear that iron right there and see that ID and they might get tricked. They may think they're getting an iron false. I might even think that myself. Okay, you see that 02 in the meter? Now all I'm going to do is go down here and turn this iron volume off. Watch what happens. Look at there. See that? Just turning the iron volume off does that. Turning the iron volume on, you know, okay, there's iron volume 1. See, I get a signal on the target. And if you'll watch, you'll see that meter, it moves real quick. It's a following this call coming over here at this nail. Sometimes it don't. Okay? So, we can check, since we're in here, we'll go in here and we're gonna look at 2 tones, 3 tones. I believe that's 3 tones, okay? And I've got, iron volume is at 1. You see that? Same behavior as 5 tones, but iron volume on this target scenario, okay? Iron volume to 0. Now, the park mode is not your best unmasker on this detector, okay? I just chose the park mode because you could be in a park and this could be happening to you here on a shallow dime, okay? Could happen to you on a shallow gold ring, too. You might not dig it thinking you got an iron false. You got that iron tone on. You see how that thing, now the ID might be a little compromised on that dime with that iron over there. I can't say for sure, but it looks like to me it's compromised a little. But you get more dig information there than you do here with iron volume on. You see that in that camera? That's iron volume at 1. Okay, now, what we're going to do, and I haven't tested this yet, we're going back in here, since this version 7 did make a change, adding adding iron tone volume or whatever to the full tones, okay? So I'm still at disc number 9, and I'm in full tones. Okay, the iron volume is on, okay? See, iron volume does affect full tones with your factory disc settings. Don't seem like much on this machine. But what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, and I'm going to lower the disc all the way down to 0. full tone 0 and turn this iron tone on and off and see what happens to the ID on this dime as this nail is presented to this equation here. Okay, so now I've got disc at 0, iron tone is on. I'm going to turn it up to 5 so you can hear it. Okay, you see that? Now that's what we were seeing in the other tonal programs besides full tones. We let the disc down, okay? So now I'm going to turn iron volume off. Now I'm getting an ID, you know, a respectable ID anyway. See that? So if I go back in here again, iron volume at level 1. So if I hover that call, even hovering that call, look at what that thing does. All right, and if I go back in here at iron tone or iron volume 0, that's a call hover. 95, iron tone 1. You see there? Look at that. I'm still hovering that thing. So at the very least, it's going to slow you down running this iron tone on this machine. You know, once you find your habitation or whatever, or if you know the area you're in, where you want to be, running iron tone on this machine looks to me to be a disadvantage, okay? It's going to slow your detecting down, especially if you're cherry picking. See, now let's see, what am I on here? That's iron volume 1. But see, it's not very consistent. If I go here to iron volume 0, see there? I don't ever see that 0, 1 mess in the meter. Now I will over here probably if I get over that nail. I get the horseshoe going left. Okay, so I thought I would share this. And I need to go look at that Deus 2 manual. I think they need to put an entry in their manual talking about this right here. If this is indeed how they want this machine to be operating ID-wise with iron tone or iron volume turned on.